Ernesto Alvarado, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 7587 for the offense of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault on January 16, 2020 for a term of 4 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Antonio Ernesto Alvarado, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2020 and January 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
Your Honor, we waive the rest of the.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
What did you report?
I did.
Now, here's the thing.
Yes. Okay.
And counsel, I'm so sorry. I don't have a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal completed.
True. Yes, ma'am.
No.
I'm sorry.
Off the record. Could you get a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal? That's okay. And we're off the record. So let me explain something to you. This is how motions to revoke work. Somebody is on probation. The state in probation is stating that they didn't do certain things.
Okay.
Sometimes it's you didn't report. Sometimes it's you're using drugs. Sometimes you're not doing classes that are ordered. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Now, sometimes people will plead true. Now, once you plead true to a violation, I have to let you know what the range of punishment is. So in your case, the range of punishment is up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have some sort of an agreement with the state, that's an agreement that you and your attorney have decided to enter into, but the court does not have to follow that agreement because you do not have a contract with the state. You do not have a contract with your attorney. You have a contract with the court. Now, sometimes people will plead true. Maybe they'll plead true to not reporting. They'll say, all right, it's true, but I have an explanation. I have a reason why I didn't report. Somebody may say, I didn't report. I was in a coma at the hospital. And they bring documentation that they were in the coma at the hospital. Does that mean that it's not true? No, it's true. They didn't report. They just have a reason for not reporting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand if you've reached an agreement with the state, I don't have to follow that agreement. Do you understand?
No.
So I could sentence you up to 20 years in prison. Do you understand?
No.
All right, we're going to go back on the record. So, Mr. Alvarado, you entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 5. Is that correct? No, listen to me. You entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 5. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, I can revoke you, find you guilty, and send you to prison for up to 20 years? Did you understand? And did you understand that I could sentence you also up to a $10,000 fine? All right, you need to stop whispering. You need to speak up
Yes.
so that the court reporter can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we are asking that his probation be revoked.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking that you extend his probation for a year. Let him complete the programs that he needs to do, family violence and the other program on parenting class. He has a place to live. He failed to report. I told him he needs to report in the future and follow your rules. He said he'll do that.
All right, so here's the question. Why is he not reporting? You want to
I don't think he has a reason.
All right, is there something you want to tell me?
During this
Wait
time,
a second. You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Antonio Alvarado.
All right, why were you not reporting?
To be honest, ma'am, I mean, I had caught COVID. It was during 2020, I caught COVID. Not only that, but after that,
So you're saying,
listen,
let me, wait, so you're saying in June 2020, you caught COVID?
yes,
All right, so how long did COVID last for you?
didn't last that long. It lasted only a couple of weeks.
All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
so that's June 2020, you caught COVID. So July, did you report to
No,
probation?
ma'am.
August,
No, ma'am.
September,
No, ma'am.
October,
No, ma'am.
November,
No, ma'am.
December,
No, ma'am.
January.
No, ma'am.
Have you reported since 2020?
No, ma'am. I have not.
All right.
I have no excuse, ma'am. I'm sorry. I have no excuse. I just know that I've worked. I had my children and I had a lot of bills and everything that life had accumulated on me. I started working and I just put it on the back burner because I had child support to do. I had a career that I had a job that I figured was going to help me get out of my situation, and it didn't because the economy got worse. And then I figured, you know what, let me do this. Let me go into HVAC program so that way I can not only better myself, but better pay everything that I owe and try to get my license back. And I actually, and with me not reporting, I put this in the back burner, which I shouldn't have had. But I
No,
shouldn't
I
have.
don't, here's my question for you. This is just a question I ask. You know, if you have an answer, great. If you don't, you don't.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think that you can be on probation and just forget about it?
I shouldn't have thought like that.
No, I mean, it's like, why do you think that's the case? That, okay, I know I committed a burglary of a habitation with an assault. That's what you did.
Yes, ma'am.
So a burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault, that means that you're going into someone's home without permission and you are assaulting them.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
beating them up.
Yes, ma'am.
So why do you think that you can be on probation for that, then not do what was required of you and just go on with living your life as though this does not exist and you don't owe the government, the Bexar County, the citizens of Bexar County, the completion of your probation?
Because the thought happened with my ex, and me and my ex have been trying to get back together at that time too.
Oh, so you and Maria Alvarado have been trying to get back together?
And at that time,
All right.
talking, communicating.
So during this time, you all have been communicating while you've been on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And part of your conditions of probation?
And not communicate. Yes, ma'am. And I apologize about that.
No. You could communicate with her according to your conditions. I think it's no harmful or injurious contact. But yeah. All right. Any other questions?
I think hopefully he learned a lesson. He can move forward, follow your instructions.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court is going to grant the motion, find you guilty, and the court will revoke. State, how much time are you requesting?
We're requesting 4 years, Your Honor.
Defense, what are you requesting?
1 year, Your Honor.
2 to 10.
2 to 2.
Okay. Probation, has he done anything on probation? All right. So you've done nothing on probation.
No,
So the state honestly is being generous by asking for 4 years. What I can tell you is I would have given you 6, but the state is offering you 4. I'm going to go along with their request because maybe they have more contact. Well, I know they would have more contact with the complainant than I do. So the court is finding you guilty. The court is
Whisper.
going to revoke. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 4. You're welcome. All right, we can go off the record. When you have obligations, you got to answer for those obligations. You can't pretend as though they don't exist. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
I approach, Your Honor.
All right.
And then I'll reach out to this guy just in case there's any further documentation of it.
All right, you ready? Let's roll, nerds.
All right, page 6, Groholski. Come on up.
Said Roholski.
Yes, ARL. Judge, can I bother you? Mr. Casares is here to sign the loan.
Yeah.
He already signed. If you could just sign
Yeah.
so I can get a knife and give him a copy.
Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was that in the bond conditions, right?
Yes, I got the back.
Okay, got it. Signing it now. What page did you say?
Page 6. Casares, Raul.
Good morning, Mr. Groholski.
Oh, sir.
Sir, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On October 23rd, 2024, the officer made contact with the complainant who stated he had a package delivered through FedEx at the residence at that time and had received an email confirmation with a timestamp and a picture of the package. The complainant stated he observed the defendant via camera footage at the front of the residence pick up the package the same day. The complainant observed the defendant observe the package and then take it inside the residence where both resided. The complainant observed the defendant place the package on the stairwell, pick the package back up, and then go inside the defendant's room. The officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he did not take anything that wasn't his. The defendant stated the package was his toothpaste that he ordered and that he threw the packaging in the trash bin when asked for proof of it was his package. The defendant stated he deletes all his order receipts when he receives them. The total was $189.05.
Okay. They live together.
They lived together, Your Honor, and the complainant had ordered a package and the package was sitting outside of the front door and of the residence that they shared.
Okay.
And the defendant grabbed the package that was the complainant and went into his room. That's what's alleged. And then officers asked him if it was proof.
Well, a lot of people, if my wife gets a package, I get it and I bring it inside and I put it in my, in the room. Did he open the package? Do we know that he misappropriate conversion?
Last night, so he was able to view the surveillance of the defendant taking the package, and then he told me that he asked the defendant twice if he had the package and if he did to return it, and the defendant said he did not have the package.
Okay, that's a different story. I mean, if you take it and you say, hey, I'm not going to give it back, then that's one thing. But, I grab packages for people all the time and I'll hold it and give it to my next door neighbor. Okay. Mr. Groholski, now's not the time. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you to prove guilt. It's not the time. We'll have you speak to a lawyer. You can explain your side to the lawyer. And at that point, they can, speak to the DAs and then, but that way it's really to protect you. Tell me about yourself. Are you working? What do you?
I had a stroke
Okay.
and
Who do
doesn't
you-
work. I go around to the doctors and Walmart and the
So you don't-
YMCA, that's about it.
You don't have any kind of employment then, I would presume.
Sir,
Okay.
I'm not allowed to.
Did you want to, I'm assuming you would like a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, so Morgan, what's the status of the relationship? Are they still living together? Does the complainant want to have contact with him?
Yes, they're still living together. I don't think, just speaking with the complainant, I don't think there's an issue like with contact. I don't think he doesn't want to not have contact with the defendant, and he just wants.
Excuse me. It's a boarding house. There's 8 people living there.
Okay.
I'm just one of them.
Got it. My only concern is I don't want any more bad blood. If you talk to this person and they're angry with you, I don't want anything worse to happen. And so my concern is, what if they get angry? You guys get into a fight and it just erupts into something it shouldn't. So that's my concern, is whether you guys should have contact. So I am going to order you as a condition of your bond not to have any threatening or harassing contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. And as long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, and I'll have you speak to an attorney here momentarily. All right?
Sure.
There to sign a receipt and then to the jury box. Can you file that, please, Alex? No.